when you're raising especially a boy.
Oh, I seen this.
I came from a household where it was just a mom. I had my grandfather and I had my pops, but there was no man in the household. I started arguing with females once I started to go through things. It got physical orders. You know why? Because I was an emotional boy. I didn't have nobody in the household to say, okay, look, this is not how you go about it. Go to the gym. I had to learn this from YouTube.
The music.
Hold on, let me finish.
The music.
I had to read books, go on YouTube, do these different avenues I had to learn. Yes, grandpa telling me certain things, pops telling me certain things. But when you have a man in a household, the chances of that boy that's becoming a man to grow up emotional, 80% of the people that's in jail came from single household mothers. Meaning this, if I'm in a club and a nigga step on my sneakers, yo bro, what's up bro, what you doing? Now guess what, somebody died, somebody going to jail. You know why? Because that boy wasn't raised in a household with men. That's the problem in society, because females with the mindset that I don't need a man. That's the reason why we have females in this generation that's having kids that I don't need a man. Now they growing up without fathers. Now y'all raising emotional ass boys.
Everybody's situation, right? When you get that's not for everybody's situation.
Why is there so many women talking?
The music is so
I know.
You ever place where somebody just started like getting hype like that? Because I don't have I'd be like, I would start laughing. Like, I'm gonna walk away.
It depends on what's going on, but I'd be like, all right. If I'm actually there,
you know he get hyped.
I'd be like,
why you
get him, nigga. What he's saying is true. Where men that grow up without a male figure, and not just a male figure, this is why I disagree, a proper male figure in the house. Because there's male figures in the house that's still emotional. And he's actually learning from that man. And maybe it might be true if you go down the line, but maybe it might not. I think that we got to this whole space over the last 8 years about emotional intelligence, not just because there was a lack of emotional regulation, but there was no real correlation where it was coming from. Because I think what happens with men is when men get frustrated and they've been tolerating a lot, that's when they get very emotional and explosive. Now the other flip side, like when he was saying that they have zero tolerance for anything. So even if you get your shoe stepped on, now you're trying to fight. I think that, again, like he has points that I agree with, points that I disagree with, because I don't think that it's solely just having a male figure, because I do believe in the village around you does play a part. So if his grandfather did have enough impact on him, the thing is he didn't want to listen to his grandfather and father enough, right? For whatever reason. But if you do have that male figure that you actually value, who can, give you some good core values and ethics, then, you'll be all right. You can find your way to navigate. You still might bump your head a couple of times, but it won't be as, as explosive. That's just my opinion. So I agree and disagree at the same time.
I think that they're proud in a sense that they were left holding the bag. And they were the ones that had to step up and do X, Y, and Z. So yeah, that is actually something to be proud of. Because you can say, I raised my child, I did the absolute best I can. They graduated from school, they didn't get into trouble. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think
if
it's if
they didn't get into trouble.
If they graduated school too.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, if there's something to be proud of, yes, I think that is okay for
some people are just proud that your child is still alive.
And it's actually packaged in a way that says it's a single mother's fault when apparently they're lacking. So what makes sense, the logical thing, is that it's the absentee's father's fault, right? If we look at this using the exact same logic that you just put out, the information that is being spread is that it's the single mothers who raise these delinquent kids, these kids that are going to jail and who don't do well in life, X, Y, and Z. Okay, that's a symptom. You can't look at a symptom. You have to look at the ailment and what the diagnosis is of that ailment. And that ailment and the diagnosis is that there's an absentee father.
Yeah, but then on the flip, and you challenge it with the same numbers and the same stats with a single father, and the correlation is completely different, or the outcome is completely different when you compare them. So if I have a single father and it's like, okay, a single mother is 70% of the men in jail or whatever that stat is that he said,
He said 80. I don't know what the number
80.
is.
He did say 80.
Personally, I don't know the number.
Let's just say based on his stat, quote, 80% of them come from a single household with a mother, but then on the flip side, with the single household of a father, it's extremely less. So we can see what the actual problem is. But I mean, I can always agree because I don't think that boys need to be around or heavily influenced by women as kids. But what I'm saying is the comparison that we're saying is that a boy, essentially, we're not arguing that a father needs to be present. Well, a suitable father needs to be present. That's not the argument here. The argument here is that some women are choosing to not have a father present or have a father figure present for that boy, specifically speaking, and then having pride of actually raising this boy without that person not knowing or believing that he's not going to be affected by not having that father around. And the actual stats are showing that a woman in most case basis cannot raise a good civilian boy. So that's the real thing. I mean, I could pull up so many different things. And then we talk about, all right, well, the chicken or the egg, who came first? Did black men abandon the black women and leave them for food? Or did black women bite the bait and take the money to kick the black man out of the household? Okay, so we can go back and forth because in different periods of times, they both happened, right? But that's not the point here. The point here is that the actual...
But I think it is the point because he's talking about information.
I also have friends right now. I could call them. They could come here and tell you the truth on how. Matter of fact, I got so excited when I was doing auditions for a show, and I had 3 men come on this, and I didn't know them or I didn't know their history. I had 3 men come on the show and explain how they won custody of their child and how they had to fight for custody of that child. First of all, so when we're talking about men leaving out of a child's life, I do think that is a thing. But we completely disregard how hard it is for some of these men to even be a father because of the mother. So you're telling me that when historically, the men that go to war, they take the women once they win the war. Well, what do you think happened with the government? They won the war. They took the women, right, in numerous different ways. And then they left the black man outside. And then the black man is now being ridiculed for all the systematic oppression and the dumbass psychological ways of thinking, of treating their family. And we are byproducts of what a woman has chose against us. And it's been, again, because at some point in time, I don't believe that you can say, all right, this happened to me 50 years ago or happened to somebody in my family, my ancestors 50 years ago, and use that as an excuse. So at some point in time, yes, men now got to say, you know what? I know better. I know what they did, but I can't do it. I can't be what they were. So I do, again, it's been wrong here and wrong here, wrong here and wrong here. Wrong here and wrong here. A lot of my friends that didn't have fathers growing up are great fathers today. And that's a fact. And it's not that we learned how to be fathers by another role model. We learned how to be fathers by looking and saying, yo, you know what? I know why I was explosive. I know why I was a dangerous individual. You sit here and make a man only accountable for having to have the awareness to say, no. You're sitting here. Well, no, she can be cropped out. I don't need her in my frame. I'll crop it.
I saw what you did.
Yeah, I'll crop it.
I saw what you did.
Like you're sitting here having
I'm
men.
talking in Rome.
You're sitting here having men be accountable for having sex with women unprotected and busting a nut in them knowing that they could potentially get them pregnant, in which I do agree. But you're not going to sit here and take the accountability away from a woman who actually literally holds more power than a man when it comes to, 1, getting pregnant, and 2, coming to term with the actual baby. Alan, you're talking about a time frame where bitches was fucking niggas in the same city. Bitches is fucking niggas from all the way over there. Nobody can check. Who's gonna check somebody from fucking Los Angeles?
That community is gone.
The world is bigger now. You can't. Before, I knew somebody who knew you. Now, I don't know anybody that knows you. Like, you met this person and this person met in Miami on vacation during spring break. They just so happen to keep in contact, and now they're having sex, casual sex, after spring break.
Whoa.
However, one person is one person, I'm just saying, hypothetical.
I know.
One person is in Maryland, one person is in New Jersey. It's only a 3-hour drive. So, but what I'm saying is, it's not the same. There's no community there to check him.
No.
Who's gonna check him? He's all the way 3 hours away. Not saying Amanda, but Amanda's family's about to all drive down, and all of Brooklyn's gonna drive down to Maryland to check this nigga to make sure.
Yeah.
We
No,
are.
that's not happening.
We are.
You don't. First of all, rule number 1: you never take your city and go to another hood. You don't make it back out. Like that's not happening, bro. It's not realistic. If you want to go back to that way, turn off Instagram, stop flights, and stop travel. Everybody will be able to know everybody in a good circumference, and then guess what? Everybody can hold each other accountable. But if I don't know anything about your history, your family, your relations, there's no way I'm gonna be able to do
Can
that.
I offer just a very easy solution to this? I know
Don't
you
fuck.
want to try to stir some shit up, Alan.
No.
I think the solution is that
Condom.
women, part of that. I think that women really should move about the world only thinking of themselves when it comes to dealing with men. Because if something happens and, you're pregnant or, you're the one who has to take care of the child. So I think that women probably need to just stop dealing with dudes like that, period. Do not deal with somebody who is not caring about you, who's not going to be involved. Because if they care about you, they're going to care about their child. You know what I mean? So just don't even associate yourself with people like that. And if you are not a good judge of character, just leave them all alone.
Become a
Just
lesbian.
be a lesbian. Shit. Just leave them all alone.
Can't get pregnant there.
Work on your craft, work on your business, work on yourself. Just leave them all alone, because right now we're at a point where there's no shame. Ain't nobody shaming you. Ain't nobody sending you to go live with your auntie while you had a baby and be hidden away. That doesn't exist anymore. But I just think that if we really care as a community about creating and perpetuating broken families, the men aren't taking charge of being a leader in that regard. So the women have to. So the women need to step up and just be like, I'm not doing it. I'm not messing with these niggas. I'm not having sex with these niggas. And in some countries are calling it, I think, the 4B movement or something like that. It's a big, it's actually a really big deal in Asia right now. I think it's called 4B. They're just not dealing with men because they don't want to end up in those particular situations. And then there's some variations of it. I think there's 6B or something like that. But it's like a really big growing movement among women. And I think it started in Asia. Ohio, they're trying the same foolishness that they're pulling, I think, in Texas with, I guess, women being fined or whatever for trying to get an abortion. If you skeet in a woman in Ohio, and I think you're not married or something or other,
You don't want to have the baby.
or you don't want to have the child, then you get fined, I think, $10,000. I don't know. Can you post on the
There is a fine of up to 10,000.
But yeah, I think
And it could be us.
I'm not against it, to be honest.
I just think that if a woman doesn't want to have a baby with a man, then she should close her legs. And if a woman doesn't know a man, then she should close her legs. It's on her because I can't fuck her unless she allows me. And depending on how I decide to fuck her with or without a condom is really her discretion. So if she consents for this, right, it is not on me. Now, I do agree that you shouldn't be a lot more, cautious, or just more so conscious about what you're gonna do. I wasn't looking for the word conscious. You should be a lot more you know what I'm saying? But yes, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, there's sexual liberation happening at an all-time high, and you telling me it's my child, but I know 5 niggas that you fucked. So now I gotta be responsible for a child that I don't know is mine. We talking about things pulling up about stupid ass Ohio and the ace metaphors that it raised. Well, let's pull up some other shit where they're talking about having to have an actual DNA test be mandatory after birth.
It should have been done that.
But why is that happening? It's not happening because the girls are so great and innocent and angelic and they're only having sex with one man at a time. It's happening because these women are out here having frivolous sex with multiple men and they don't know who's the actual father. So until they can correct their decisions, you can't just say if you have a baby, be a husband. The baby's not even his.
So it's
Allegedly.
guys, it's a woman's fault.
It's been a woman's fault because they hoes. They're
It's a
fucking
woman's fault.
hoes.
It's a woman's
I'm
fault.
not saying a word.
And men have no accountability when it comes to creating a
conversation-
child.
but the
It's 70-30. Alan, I have also 9 pregnancies. One that came to term. So you want to talk about me in all aspects.
Wait, is that the truth?
That is truth. I'm 9 for 10. I've been saying that. I said it here years ago. I'll say it again. I am 9 for fucking 10.
That was lost in the footage, and you said that
No,
again.
it was never lost in the footage. But I am 9 for 10.
Why?
So yeah, like I'm not. See, the thing is this: we're not living in fairy tale. We're not living in a fairy tale bullshit land no more. We're living in the reality. You want to talk about what is the real? This is the real. I'm going to tell them if a broad is fucking you on the first day without a condom, don't trust her. That's what I'm going to tell you. And guess what? If a lot of women are doing it, then you need to understand that a lot of women ain't shit. So if you get her pregnant, you got to understand what comes with that. Most likely that kid is not going to be yours. Secondly, what's going to happen is you have to go through a whole different process of being a father and co-parent with the girl that you know is a hoe, which is nuts. More women are hoes now than ever before. And you want niggas to stop fucking?
have a butt.
You want niggas to be celibate?
Baby.
Like, this is nuts to me, bro.
But are we?
wait.
Hold on. 2 butts in the conversation. Are we back?
No, we're
to saying? Are we back
saying women are
to saying that women are hoes?
Yes.
For
Wait.
no, for sleeping with you on the first date, because I thought we had now said that that's okay. If that's what you want to do, that's what you're going to do.
Without
if y'all
a
vibe or
condom.
whatever.
Without a condom.
Nigga, you a hoe too. You little dirty dick
so-
pass around
but,
nigga.
but niggas be hoes though. And we don't, see the thing is, we don't deny our
Niggas be
wholeness.
hoes.
So y'all want to be a hoe with no consequence too. Listen, my consequence is I got to pay child support. And I might have to live with the fact that
wait. You see that? It ain't, oh, now I have to be a father. It ain't, oh, I gotta do pickup. Oh, I gotta clean diapers. Oh, I gotta wake up at 3 a.m. to feed a baby. It's, oh, I gotta pay child support.
Yes.
So who's parenting?
But that's my point.
Who's parenting?
But that's,
So
okay.
who's parenting?
The mom who chose, that's her consequence. You decided to
You
have sex with a nigga who was not serious about you and you don't want to reap what the fuck you sow.
You literally just
The
said
nigga don't
that.
care about you. You let the nigga nut in you. You didn't take a plan B. You didn't try to eat. Well, I don't know if you believe in abortion, but you didn't try to get an abortion if you
Why are
do.
you so excited?
Because I'm tired of the bullshit, bro. I'm tired of the bullshit. The bullshit is this. Do not open your fucking legs with a nigga that you don't know is about his shit and get mad when he shows you he ain't shit. It's you. You had the control. I don't get it.
Women, Rico just told y'all, leave all these males alone.
Until you know he's
No,
about something.
no.
Leave him alone.
No,
leave him
Rico
alone.
just
leave him
told
alone.
y'all,
Leave him alone.
leave all
leave him
these
alone.
males
That's not what I
alone.
told him, but
Get on
leave him
some
alone.
4B shit.
Yeah, get on
some
4B.
4B shit.
Get on 4B
Get
and
your
be
health
gone.
up. Get your edges right. Get your skin
Get on
clear.
4B and be gone. Like
and get you a bear. Get you a
and a
bear.
rose.
Get you a bear.
A bear and a rose.
Which one?
A bear because you know a bear
'Cause we
versus
the
a
man.
man. Get a
Oh.
bear.
And a rose.
He's saying it's not equal. He's saying the woman is a source of the consequence.
No, I'm saying that. No. What I'm saying is, what I'm saying is, you're both wrong. I'll say it again because everybody here doesn't seem to understand. You are both fucking wrong. So since you're both wrong, don't do it.
Exactly.
She's 19, she's a little girl. But let's say that same girl, hypothetically, if you could, is another version of her that's 29 and she wants to have sex and I find her very attractive. I'm gonna say no.
Hey, Harriet would have left a lot of niggas behind.
A nigga helped her. A nigga helped her.
Who? Who?
Yeah, auntie, Annie, whatever the fuck.
Who?
Yeah, Annie.
Who?
Yeah, Annie. Annie's. All of them.
helped her?
She was in Aquarius,
What man?
by the way.
I'm saying who?
What man helped her?
Who? Exactly. Thank you.
Harriet Tubman is an Aquarius. She's an exception to the rule.
But I thought a man helped her. Like,
I don't really agree that there's no responsibility because if I'm the older person, I'm supposed to have the discipline and the brain to know the consequences.
The older? You talking about the same shit
Are we
with
talking about 19 or are we talking about 20?
in general?
It don't even matter. I'm 45.
Any age, Romeo. You're not looking at a girl who's younger than you. Any age. She could be 44.
Nobody want to get nobody pregnant. Like that's a whole nother. That's so extreme. I feel like the pregnancy is the extreme. If we just, I'm sorry, it's extreme. Sex is beautiful. It's a great union. But like bringing a baby into this, like, can we just take the baby out of it and just have a good time?
but that's the problem. I think that's the point that he's making.
He talking about going in them raw and then leaving them baby and then take your little 10,000 and I'm out.
You're right.
I'm not talking about that.
You're right.
I never said that.
So I'm saying be responsible. I don't even know what to do. Like
So who's supposed to be responsible? You or her?
me
Or her?
How
about the both of them?
Age? Are you asking me at my
You're
age?
both the same age. I'm not telling you you're older, you're younger. You're the same age and pick any year of your life.
Bet. So I have these conversations though.
Okay, so who's supposed to be, I didn't say who is supposed to be more responsible when it comes down to consensual sex? You, the man, or the woman?
More responsible. I think it's 50-50. I'm sorry.
Why would anything have to be more responsible?
Yeah.
Because if that's the case, why is only a man coming to the table with a fucking condom if we're both supposed to be equally responsible?
Because she's on, what if she's on birth control? That's
But if
why.
she's not, we're talking about having the potentiality of a baby. So you're talking to me about a man and a woman need to be equally responsible, right?
Yeah, but Rico, I feel like you always have this argument, and it's just not always that realistic that women are coming with female condoms to have sex. Can you sit down and relax?
Women are not supposed to have any accountability for sex. That's exactly what the fuck I am
what
hearing.
I'm saying. If you are sexually active, there is a chance that you are on birth control or or you have some kind of contraceptive. But you're always talking about the man is always showing up with the condoms and not the female. Most females.
Women keep condoms. Hey.
My point is this. You handing a condom to a man is still putting the responsibility in a fucking man's hands. So now, when you say that a man and a woman is supposed to be equally responsible, that means I need to take the same precautions as her, and that's what should be the situation. However,
She's
that
on
is
birth control.
no, we're not talking about birth control. You know, it's supply and demand. Women aren't looking to protect themselves.
But I don't see. But
It's not as
you guys
why,
are being
'cause it's supply
technical
and
now.
demand.
I'm not saying anything.
Women do not care to protect
The
themselves.
argument
This is the fact.
is technical now because a woman coming to you with a condom, a male condom, how is that not her being responsible?
You're putting
She
the
is making sure it doesn't matter. Somebody has to put the fucking condom on.
You're putting the responsibility, I'll say this again for you, you're putting the responsibility back into the man's hands. Because if this man decides to say, okay, I'll put it on and toss it to the side, right? Now you're back into the same position in which we are talking about. So if
You're not because
I made sure.
If she hands you a condom, she is taking the responsibility and saying, "Here, I'm protecting myself."
she's giving you the responsibility. She didn't take the responsibility.
But then you're not the one being responsible at all because I gave you the responsibility.
We are okay. So this, let me say this again. If a man is supposed to protect himself with a condom, then a woman needs to protect herself with a condom.
Actually, I understand. I'm not understanding your argument. Okay, I just don't agree. So we could just stop.
Of course not, because you don't want to take accountability.
That's not what the fuck I'm saying. Because you're only talking about female accountability, and I feel like the conversation started with trying to hold the man accountable. And since we're not talking about that, can we move on?
Men, carry condoms. Carry condoms and be responsible. That's it.